Love Camp presents Manifesting Your Love Life as a God-Loving Single Co-Parent with Virginia Jimenez, love coach, and Cassandra Cadeau, founder of Blended Hearts. Check out the Eventbrite link for more information. Learn a little bit more about us and our commitment in this past recording.
Welcome to this conversation with myself, Virginia Jimenez, and Cassandra Cadeau.
Hi, everyone.
We're here together today to have a conversation called Blended Conversations. And in particular, we're going to be discussing navigating the holidays as a blended family. Well, before we go into all that, we should actually introduce ourselves a little bit for those that are meeting us for the first time. As I mentioned, my name is Virginia Jimenez. I'm a love coach. I have several years of experience in coaching one-on-one and have a group coaching program called Love Camp. And aside from that, I'm also mom of two boys, age 16 and 13, and a professional in the HR field as well. And that's just a bit about me. Cassandra, go ahead and tell the audience about yourself.
For sure. My name is Cassandra Cadeau, and I'm here representing the nonprofit called Blended Hearts. I'm the founder. And with Blended Hearts, we're based out of Orlando, Florida, but we are a national organization, and we cover all things blended families. And so what inspired me to start the nonprofit is because as a twice divorced single mother of three girls, ages 18, 12, and 11, we've went through some hurdles blending our family. And I felt that there were a lot of resources and tools that are not made available to a lot of other families that are just simply looking to navigate their journey in a healthier fashion. And so our nonprofit exists to explore all the various topics and to help families kind of get back on track after a change in their dynamics.
And this is a topic that's near and dear to my heart because, as I mentioned, I am a mother, but I'm also someone that has experienced breakup, essentially, no longer with the father of my children. It's been over 11 years. Mm-hmm. And I mean, what that resulted in me creating Love Camp and doing the work that I do. But it also resulted in really just finding affinity with what Cassandra is up to as well, because ultimately, like how we are navigating that terrain of being a blended family or being a co-parent, it's important. It's not just important for us to heal as individuals, but it's important for those around us, for our family members, and especially for the children.
I think the biggest part as well is when we take that intentional position to try to create these new normals, it helps us as adults to move forward, to be in a place of acceptance, and to also be in a place of just trying to rebuild and start over our own lives as adults. I think what supports it the most is an awareness and acceptance for the situation that you're in. It's difficult to move forward in anything if you're not accepting of where you're at now. And part of that acceptance, the process, is to explore and understand how you got here, the reasons why, to realize that there is no fighting for it. Like, acceptance is just really being in the place and accepting it for what it is. And until you reach to that point, the healing doesn't begin, because while the other party is hoping and wishing that you're moving on and moving forward with your life and how you guys will live in each other's lives, you're in the meantime still stuck on what could have been, had I done this, had I done that. And so it really starts with yourself. It starts with yourself and accepting that, hey, however way we got here, we're here now, and the children involved needs us to get it together, like get to that place of acceptance so that we can explore all the other things that we need to work on at this point. So I think it starts with self.
Yeah, I think it starts definitely with self. Because,
it's so hard.
You're navigating the emotional terrain.
Yeah.
And I think, like, for me, the way I see it as well is that it's accepting even that it's not where you want it to be yet, right? Like, it might not be there yet, but it's accepting that this is part of the process, accepting that there's a transitional space.
Yes.
Like, there's a void that occurs when things change in life. Death is an example of that. When somebody passes away, it's a hard moment.
Yes.
And ending a relationship can really be one of those moments where it's like, oh my God, even though you may have even chosen to do it. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Now all of these things are shifting in my life I didn't expect to, because I've made
that one decision.
decision.
Yeah, that one decision catapults everything else.
And I would say for everyone that's listening is to be anchored in your commitments outside of your emotions, like with your family and your children. Like, what are you committed to despite the circumstance and this choice that is impacting your emotional self or whatever, your personal self. And that other person as well, the other parent, like, and have a like, for me, that's how I did it years ago. I was like, we had a conversation. I was like, I know this is not perfect and I have to accept that it's not how I want it to look actually 11 years ago. But I'm also going to stay true to my commitment. Like with my kids, I'm committed that they're not involved in this process that's going on. I'm committed that, you know, we figure out in communication, like what we get to do next for each like the holidays.
Exactly.
Like holidays are an example, great example, because it's a hard freaking time. Especially when you're first experiencing it.
Virginia, you mentioned two things that are like really top in trying to create a blended holiday, you know, to be able to celebrate the holidays with your family. Number one is putting the children first. And you also discussed about years ago how you had to sit down and have that conversation. You have to be intentional about voicing and articulating and expressing what your wishes are. Like
the key word you keep mentioning, Cassandra, is create. And I think that people, all of you listening, listen, you have such power to create.
Make it your own.
Okay, to create this new way of life. All right. This new normal that Cassandra's discussing. You have power to create that. Of course, sometimes with your emotions involved, it's hard to really see that and connect the dots into the future. But again, stay grounded in your commitments. Cassandra, you mentioned values.
Yes.
You know, reconnect with what those values are for you. So very, very lovely time to speak with you, Cassandra, and partner with you.
Thank you for having me here with you guys.
You get to create this new normal in your life, and let's do it.